Dear children, today we will start with new chapter quadratic equation. Half of the chapter we have covered in quadratic polynomials. There you have learned how to factorize quadratic polynomial. And here you are going to study quadratic equation. The basic difference between quadratic polynomial and quadratic equation is this, that in quadratic polynomial we don't have equal to sign. That is, the general form is ax square plus bx plus c in case of quadratic polynomial. But when we have quadratic equation, the general form is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. That equal to sign present here converts the polynomial into equation. Now, in this chapter, you will learn how to solve quadratic equation. That means you will learn how to find out the value of this x, the variable present in it. There are three ways to find out the value of the variable present in a quadratic equation. The three methods are first is factorization that you have learnt already. So the first method is factorization. The second method is completing square. And the third method is solving it by using quadratic formula. Children, sometimes it is difficult to factorize the polynomial or equation given here by middle term splitting, and we get confused whether the factors are possible or we are not able to factorize it. So this is the limitation of this factorization method. We are able to factorize only when this a, b, c are integers. If they are rationals, we are unable to think of the factors. So children, this is the limitation of this factorization method. Therefore, the invention of completing square and quadratic formula took place. Completing square is now no more in your syllabus. It is deleted now in CBSE syllabus, but it is really very important because this method only helped us to derive the quadratic formula. So children, today we will start with completing square. Now what is completing square? Let's start with that. So I'll just give you the completing square method. Suppose we are starting with this general equation, that is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. You all should know that a, b, c, in this a, b, c, they all belong to rational numbers, but a can never be equal to 0. अगर a 0 हो जाएगा बेटा तो square वाली term खत्म हो जाएगी, and therefore it will convert it into a linear equation. So that means a should never be equal to 0. B and c can be 0, but A will never be equal to 0. Now children, this is the equation that we have. First of all, what will we do? We will just write it like this: ax square plus bx equal to minus c. Then we will have the coefficient of x as 1 only. So we have to divide the whole equation by a, so that x should not have any coefficient other than 1. So this is x square plus b by a x is equal to minus c by a. Now children, if you will see, these two terms are the same terms that we have when we open the formula a plus b whole square. So if I open the formula a plus b whole square, a plus b whole square, then children, I will have a square plus b square plus 2ab. 2ab. So this square term is already here. If I compare my this part with whatever I have here when I open this identity, that's why the name is completing square. So if I compare these two terms with the terms here in this identity, this term is present a square, gives me an idea that a is x here. Then this 2ab term is already there, gives me an idea that 2ab is equal to b upon ax. So if I put the value of a here in it, I'll get that this is equal to b by ax. Cancelling x and x from both the side, I'll get that the value of b is b upon 2a. Now children, listen. If I want to complete this identity, the identity that I have here, I have the term a square, that means x square term is with me. I have the term 2ab, that means this term b by a x is already with me, but this b square is missing. So what I will do in the next step, I will just add the term missing both the sides so that this identity get complete. So that means x square plus b by 2a whole square. So this is b square, a square, then b square, then 2ab term we are already having b by ax. So what we did, extra this term I have added this time since it is an equation. So whatever I am adding this side, I have to add that the other side also. So that means this is minus c by a. I'll add b by 2a whole square this side also. Now let's continue with it. So this side I have x square. Just see what do you have that side. So this is b by 2a whole square. This we have added both the side plus b by a x is equal to minus c by a plus b by 2a whole square. Now children, simplify it. So when you simplify, you will get that the LCM is 4a square. And if it is 4a, so here you will have minus of 2ac plus b square. And this side, this is a square, this is b square, this is 2ab. So that means this is a plus b whole square. That means x plus b by 2a whole square. Now remove this square. So if you remove the square, you will have x plus b by 2a is equal to, when you remove this square, you know that everything will go inside the square root. B square minus 2AC upon 4A square. And whenever you remove a square, one thing that you will have a square root, the other thing you will have plus and minus, both the sign here. So what is the value of x? X is equal to minus b by 2a plus minus under the root b square minus 2ac. Sorry, it will be 4ac. So when you open this, it will be 4. So this will be 4ac. So b square minus 4ac, b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So x is equal to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So this formula that you have derived by completing this square is known as quadratic formula. This formula is very, very important and is known as quadratic formula. Simply by putting the value of a, b, c of the given equation. Suppose this given equation is 5x square minus 7x plus 2 is equal to 0. Suppose you have this equation and you want to solve this equation, children. Simply here a is 5, b is minus 7, c is 2. So simply by putting the value of a, b and c here in this formula, you are able to get the value of x. The value of x are also known as the solution of this equation. Value of x is also known as solution of the equation, also known as root of the equation. Also, this question can be asked as zeros of the equation, or simply he will say you to solve the equation. So in every case, if he is saying find the solution, then means you want to find out x. If you want find the roots of the equation, that means again he want you to find out the value of x. If he want you to find out the value of zeros of this quadratic equation, again that means he wants you to find out the value of x. So simply by putting the value of a, b and c in this formula, you are able to get the value of x, and therefore children, this is known as quadratic formula. Now this formula is not only helping you in getting the value of x, it helps us in finding or knowing the nature of the roots beforehand. Beforehand means there is a quantity that will help you finding the equation, finding the formula, finding the roots just by calculating this quantity. Just see in this whole formula, only this much, b square minus 4ac. b square minus 4ac is inside the root. Everything else is outside. Only b square minus 4ac is inside the root. And you know, children, that in first chapter, real numbers, you have learned that whenever you have minus 5 inside the root, that means a negative quantity inside the root, this is not real number, not a real number. That means if inside the square root you have a negative quantity, it is not a real number. If it is not a real number, that means whenever you will have a negative number by calculating b square minus 4ac, that shows that this quadratic equation will not have real roots, real value of x are not possible. Therefore, you will not be able to solve it. Is that clear? So inside this square root, you should not have negative value. And if you have a positive value, that means that will be a rational number. Or if it is a rational number, and if you have a positive quantity inside, that means it is a rational number. And if it is a rational number, that means real roots are possible. This is real. So real roots are possible in this case. But whenever you have negative number inside, you will not solve it because no real roots are possible in that case. So this quantity is deciding factor of a quadratic equation, that whether the roots are real or not real, or imaginary, or you may say they are real or imaginary. So children, you may call this quantity b square minus 4ac as d. D is called discriminant, that describes the nature of the root. So d is called discriminant, that is describing quantity of the roots, that is discriminant. That describes root. So nature of the root you are able to guess just by using this quantity d b square minus 4ac. If for an equation you have this quantity negative, if d is negative, there are three cases possible. D can be positive, D can be equal to 0, D can be a negative number. So if it is a positive number, real and two different roots you are able to calculate. You know that it is a quadratic equation. Therefore, how many maximum roots you are able to get? You are able to get two roots maximum. So those two different roots will be there. Two different values of x will be there. But if it is equal to 0, that means roots are real and equal. And if it is a negative number, then roots are not real. Not real roots that you will study in class 11th. So children, let's see the equation. Suppose you have an equation x square plus 4x plus 4 equal to 0. Then again you have an equation x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. And then again you have an equation x square minus 4x minus 4 equal to 0. Let's see in all the three cases what is d we are able to get. So d is b square minus 4ac. Now let's calculate d. B means the value of the coefficient of x, so that means 4 square minus 4 A is 1 here and C is 4. So you are getting 16 minus 16. That means 0. That means when you calculate the value of x, you're going to have real and equal roots. Now children, you know that you are very familiar with this equation. This is x square plus 2 into 2x plus 2 square. So this is a square plus b square plus 2ab equal to 0. This is an identity. X plus 2 whole square equal to 0. X plus 2 and x plus 2 equal to 0. So both the values of x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 2. So both the roots of the equation are equal and they are equal to each other. Now in this case, this is d b square minus 4ac. Let's find out the value. So this is b square means 25 minus 4 into 6 into a. A is 1. So 4 6 are 24. So here you are getting d is equal to 1, a positive number, indicates that real and different roots. So that means when you factorize x square minus 3x minus 2x plus 6 is equal to 0. So when you factorize it, x minus 3 and minus 2 x minus 3 is equal to 0. X minus 2 and x minus 3 is equal to 0. So either x minus 2 is equal to 0 or x minus 3 is equal to 0. So this is x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 3. So here you are getting two different values of x. So whenever d is a positive number, you will get two different values of x. Now children, let's see this side. This is db square minus 4ac. In this case, if I'll take b as minus 4 whole square, then this is minus 4 into, let's do it plus, take it plus. So this is minus, a is 1 and c is 4. So this will be 16 and this will be 16 once again. So this is minus 16. And if it is minus 16, that means again, you are able to see that d is equal to 0. Again, you will have real and equal roots. So when you factorize, you are able to see that this is the formula for x minus 2 whole square. So x minus 2 in first bracket, x minus 2 in the second bracket. That makes it, this is minus 2 and minus 2. So that means x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 2. So whenever you have d equal to 0, you will have two same roots, and whenever d is a positive number, you will get two different roots. Now let's see a case when d is negative. So this is x square minus 7x, and this is, let's say, 16. Plus 16 equal to 0. Now let's find out d. It is b square minus 4ac. So this is 49, 7 square minus 7 square, and minus 4, A is 1, C is 16. So this is 49 minus 64. So when you will subtract, you will get a negative number. Minus 15. So this minus sign indicates that no real roots are possible. So that means we will not solve further. We will not find the value of x. We will leave the answer here only, saying this, that no real roots are possible. I hope with this it is clear that what is the discriminant and how it is helping us to know the nature of the roots. That's all for today, children. We will meet once again with another video.